There's something different about you, and most people will never notice it. You scroll through feeds full of selfies, group photos, vacation shots, hundreds of people broadcasting their faces to the world. And you just don't. Not because you can't, not because you're hiding, but there's something deeper happening inside you that even you might not fully understand yet. You've thought about posting, maybe you took a photo that actually looked good, you held your phone, you opened the app, and then something stopped you. A feeling. Not fear exactly, something quieter than that, something that said, no, not today, maybe not ever. Most people would call that shyness. They'd be wrong. There's a psychological pattern that researchers have studied for years, and it shows up in some of the most emotionally intelligent, deeply thoughtful people on the planet. People who don't post their photos aren't avoiding the world. They're protecting something inside themselves that the world hasn't earned access to yet. Think about that for a second. Every time someone posts a photo, they're handing a piece of themselves to strangers, to old classmates, to coworkers, to people who will scroll past in under 2 seconds without a single real thought. And somewhere inside you, something about that has always felt off, like giving away something precious to someone who doesn't even know its value. You feel things deeply. You've always known that about yourself. When someone judges you, even quietly, even behind a screen, you feel it differently than other people do. Not because you're weak, because you're wired to process emotion at a level most people never reach. Psychologists call this high emotional sensitivity. And one of the ways it shows up is in how carefully you guard your image. Not your appearance, your image. Who you are, how people see you, the story someone forms about you in their head the moment they see your face attached to a moment of your life. You don't want that story written carelessly. There's a moment a lot of people like you have had. You post something once, maybe years ago, a photo you felt okay about, and then the silence comes. The likes that feel meaningless, the comments that feel hollow, or worse, no response at all. And something inside you said, never again. Not because you were hurt, because you realized in that moment that social media was never actually built for people like you. It was built for performance, and you were never interested in performing. Here's something even more interesting though, and this is the part most people completely miss. People who don't post their photos often have a much stronger, more stable sense of self than those who do. When your identity isn't tied to external validation, to likes, to reach, to who saw your story on home, something quietly powerful happens inside you. You start to know yourself on your own terms, not through the reflection in other people's eyes, through something deeper. But there's a cost to this, and you felt it. Sometimes you wonder if you were invisible. You watch people get praised, get noticed, get opportunities, just because they showed up online. And a small, honest part of you wonders, am I missing something? Is staying private actually holding me back? Or is it protecting me from something I don't even fully see? That question doesn't have an easy answer. And if anyone tells you it does, they're not thinking hard enough. What it really comes down to is this. You are someone who understands instinctively, maybe without ever being taught, that not everything real needs to be seen, that a beautiful moment doesn't become more beautiful because other people witnessed it, that who you are doesn't need to be packaged, filtered, and handed to a screen to have meaning. That's not a flaw. That is one of the rarest things in the world right now. In an age where everyone is performing constantly, you are one of the few people quietly, stubbornly, choosing to just exist, to live in moments that belong only to you, to keep something sacred. And maybe that's exactly why you feel misunderstood sometimes. Because the world keeps asking you to be louder, and you already know something the world hasn't figured out yet. Some things are more powerful when they're protected. You don't have to explain that to anyone.